What's up guys, it's Yugi Bros, and today I wanted to go over a tournament held by Curseof. Shout out to him. He's actually got a really cool YouTube channel regarded mostly to speed duels, if not completely to speed duels. He's been around for a little while now, and I really like his content. People keep asking me to do collaborations, and I just don't have the time, unfortunately, to do this, but he does a lot of cool. He's actually had this tournament that I'm going to showcase in a second, or at least the results of it. He's been showcasing different rounds on his channel, and it's cool. Like, if you just click one video, he does a lot of commentary with Rook's Table, who also has a really cool YouTube channel regarding speed duels, and I really like his stuff as well. And I'm sorry, Rook, I know you keep asking me to do a collab. I'll eventually get to that. I'm super sorry about that. It's just I've had a lot going on recently. That's why actually my videos for this week and last week have been kind of sporadic, more so than normal. I promise I will get you guys. I will try to get on these collaborations, but I really think you guys make like some top cutting-edge speed duel stuff, and if you guys aren't subscribed to them, please go over there and subscribe, because they have really cool stuff, and show them some love. But back to this tournament that Curseof had. It's the summer kickoff tournament. This was his top cut. Interesting, mostly moth based, and then gear moth. So dark moth and gear moth took a good percentage of it, and then you have conflict warrior here, and then gravekeeper burn. But if we go to more of a breakdown, you can see here in the tournament it was 8 gravekeeper burn, 7 dark moth, 5 conflict warrior, 4 warrior moth, 3 burn, and then the one-ups were a dark conflict, a dragon color, a gravekeeper Gaia, which I'm actually interested in seeing, a gravekeeper moth, a pure gravekeeper, a pure warrior, a relinquished, shout out to my boy relinquished, a ritual of black mastery, a serpent knight dragon, a spell-proof armor, and a viral despair. So going in sense with the breakdown here, obviously moth kind of comes in at most chunks. You get the 7 of dark moth, you get the 4 warrior moth, you get this 1 gravekeeper moth. Moth's obviously been the meta and will be the meta for the foreseeable future until we get our speed duel box in November, but that is a long way out, so be expecting the same meta for a long time. But gravekeeper definitely can get it a run for his money because of Gravekeeper's Curse, and a lot of the sense that just Gravekeeper as an engine is a really solid engine to speed through your stuff. You now have Allure of Darkness in addition to the Wonder Wand you already had. You have Recruiter to search your Gravekeepers. There's just so much options that the deck can dive into. It's a really good engine. And as you can see here, obviously it wasn't even just the burn deck that took advantage of that. There was 1 Gaia Gravekeeper, there was 1 Moth Gravekeeper, so obviously you can mix that into a lot of things. It's great. It's interesting because Gravekeepers has been in the game since the beginning, and it's been the most consistent throughout the meta since the dawn of speed duels. So it's really nice to see that something like that is still existent in today's game. We'll have to wait and see what the speed duel box brings us to see if that either changes or enhances its capabilities in the future. It'd be really nice to see how that'll work out. But then, of course, the only other deck that I feel like is a very good contender against Moth right now is Conflict Warrior, and there were only 5 in this tournament. There was a pure warrior, so technically there were 6 warriors, but obviously 5 of the one playing Inner Conflict, that being the skill that you pay half your life points once per duel to take control of a monster your opponent controls, but that monster cannot attack your opponent's life points directly. The card is very solid. You can do a lot with it, whether that be take control of their monster and tribute it, or take control of their monster and attack into another monster they have, or just simply take a monster your opponent controls, getting it off their field so you can swing them with your other cards for game. There's a lot you can do with that skill, and that skill's very strong. I ranted and raved in the original release of those 2 starter decks that was the best skill. I was incorrect. I think Twisted Personality is the best skill out of those new decks, but Inner Conflict is definitely probably the second best. There was a lot of cool skills in those decks for sure. But yeah, Conflict Warrior for sure, one of the best decks going into a tournament where Moth is predominantly the most relevant, and then Burn second most. After that, as you can see, there were 3 regular burn decks, so if you chalk that up with the Gravekeeper burn, you have 11 burn. Makes sense. I'm actually impressed at how much burn exists in speed duels currently. I didn't think much past the release of Mask of the Accursed that we would get too much more burn cards in the future. Nightmare Wheel is fine. I did not expect that to eventually drop, but Zoma the Spirit is so powerful in its ability to just, first of all, give you an 1800 beat stick, second of all, be a trap monster so you don't waste your normal summon on it, so you can stack the field quicker, and then third of all, doing the burn damage to your opponent that it does is insane. And the fact that you gave Burn Twisted Personality, a skill that gives Burn an offensive play, in addition to now Zoma, which is another offensive play, being an 1800 beat stick, and then also does extra burn damage. It's like playing more Swordswoman's if you're playing against the right deck. It's insane. It's almost virtually impossible to deal with burn without having a hell ton of spell and trap destruction and whatnot. And it's kind of insane. In 4000 Yu-Gi-Oh! I was just super surprised to see anything that would burn more than 500 damage, and then with how many things we got, we had Curse originally, we then had Mask of the Accursed, we then had Nightmare Wheel, then Zoma the Spirit, like I said, we have Lava Golem as well, which does the 1000, it's the double tribute Kaiju. Like, we didn't need all of these burn cards in 4000 Yu-Gi-Oh! But we got them anyway. I hope to God the Speed Duel box does not give us any more burn cards. We don't need any more burn cards. And I understand Jinzo comes out and kills like half of the burn capabilities that burn has at its disposal, but I don't care. I don't want to see more burn. We have Offerings to the Doom to deal with Jinzo as well, and you know Twisted Personality will still be the skill they run with if they need to deal with Jinzo, unless something better comes out that gives them a better advantage. So it's not like it even is foolproof. But then moving down here, Dark Conflict is like Inner Conflict, but more like dark stuff. That's a pretty cool idea. I like that. Dragon Caller, I assume it was just Blue Eyes. I've been wanting to mess lately with a Dragon Caller that focuses around Tyrant Dragon, because Tyrant Dragon has built-in trap targeting immunity, which is very nice against stuff like Nightmare Wheel and stuff right now. Like I said in the video that I think I released about a month ago now, where I dropped a Blue Eyes deck, even though it's as glass cannon as ever, it's still very consistent when you just want to go in turn one. If you can drop everything turn one and go in and your opponent can't stop you, like, it's just really game really quickly. I mean, that's been the deck in a nutshell the entire time. In the beginning of Speed Duels, there wasn't much to stop it other than Amazon as Swordswoman, but nowadays, obviously, if you stop its one big play, it has a very tough time recovering, almost to the point where it never recovers. So I would like to see more deck lists from this thing as well, just to see if he or she, whoever played the Dragon Caller deck, had an interesting way of kind of giving the deck more recovery, or if it just was simply glass cannon deck, which, like I said, can still compete. It just depends on how you play it. The Gravekeeper Gaia deck I'm very interested in seeing. Off the top of my head, and I'm sorry, Curseof, if I haven't gone through all your videos to double check some of these decks. I'm actually coming off of work today, just trying to make a quick video before I have to go back on another shift. It's an interesting concept where if you play the Gravekeeper engine with, I want to believe, the Gaia skill and Gaia Knight. I could be wrong, but it could just be playing that engine where you would play like no traps, but you play continuous cards. It's a good draw engine, I guess, to get you more options through your Gaia skill. If it's not that, then it's charging Gaia, but I can't really see the synergy there. But I could be completely wrong, and I could be missing something. Gravekeeper Moth, like I said, gives Moth more drop capability through its Gravekeeper searches and stuff. I think Dark Moth is still probably better, and I think a lot of people would agree with me, seeing as how it's more represented here. But the idea definitely isn't a stranger, in my opinion. What I love about Speed Duels is that you can mix and match so many different things, and obviously this is the tournament breakdown of everything in the event. I feel like metas in this aren't nearly as set in stone as something in regular Yu-Gi-Oh! And obviously that's because we have a lot less cards and a lot less power creep and stuff. But what I love about this game is that, sure, you could take Moth, you could take Burn, you could take Conflict Warrior into this event and probably do very well. But you could also take Serpent Knight Dragon or Dragon Caller or Relinquish or something into these events, and depending on how you play it, could do very well as well. Like, it's not so set in stone. Obviously, I would tell you that Burn, Moth, and Conflict Warrior are the three best decks to go into the event with right now. But I also think that, like, it's not just that black and white. You can, you know me, I'll probably go and roll into one of these events with Relinquished. Even if I don't do that well, I love Relinquished to death in Speed Duels, which is crazy because I never gave a crap about the card. beforehand, but playing it in Speed Duels, I've just loved its playability and how it works in this game, and I love the synergy that they've given it over the months with Faceless Magician and stuff like that. So it's just a game in general where I love how you can mix and match a bunch of different things. And like I said, this is Rogue Week, so I've been working on more Rogue builds, and it's been more fun to go through some not so used concepts and try to create some synergy with those. So, but guys, what do you think of these results? Like I said, shout out to Curseof and shout out to Rook's Table, who does commentary with him. They both have awesome YouTube channels. I highly suggest both of these guys go check them out. They have a lot of cool videos regarding Speed Duels. And what did you think about this this tournament, this turnout, this setup? I definitely am for it. I hope that Curseof, I hope you do more of these in the future. If I ever can get off this busy schedule that I have, maybe I could be in one of these tournaments or commentate. I don't know. But guys, I'll leave a link to both of their channels in the description down below. What did you think of this video? Did you like, love, or hate any of this content? Please let me know in the comments down below. Definitely go subscribe to both Rook's Table and Curseof for this awesome content that we were able to showcase today, as well as their stuff that they make all the time. It's really nice to see other Speed Duel YouTubers and just Speed Duel people in the community branch out and create on their own tournaments and do stuff like this, and I would love to see more of this in the coming future. But guys, as always, comment, like, and subscribe. Please click that notification bell to get all of our latest updates, and if you want, please consider following me on Twitter and checking out my Facebook page for more awesome content and updates. With all that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Yuki Bros out.